man, it is the final MLB Best Bets video of the regular season here in 2025. Obviously, we're going to be back throughout the month of October. Actually, the playoffs start on the last day of September, but we'll be back for postseason baseball, obviously, until the MLB season here in 2025 is over. But today is the final day of the regular season, game 162 for all 30 teams today, and we have found our 5 best bets. Not going to lie, been a little bit difficult to find the 5 best bets today because there's a lot of non-meaningful games today in the MLB, and I mean a lot. So we'll get to that in a minute, folks. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more MLB Best Bets here on the channel. We'll be back, of course, tomorrow for our college football predictions. 4 hours likely of college football predictions. And then on Tuesday morning, of course, back for the postseason Best Bets. So no MLB tomorrow, but we will have our college football predictions out probably around noon tomorrow, earlier than normal. Of course, today, NFL Day, obviously. So NFL predictions, Best Bets on the channel as well. UFC 320 predictions out later today. Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira in the main event from Las Vegas, Nevada. You're not going to want to miss that later today on Greedo Plays MMA at noon Pacific. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets today. We are going to kick things off with our daily nerfy. This is pretty automatic, at least on paper. It should appear the San Francisco Giants are hosting the Colorado Rockies. Give me the nerfy. There is one side of this equation where the nerfy is going to be really easy. There's another side of this equation where it gets tricky. Now, before I get into this, folks, I am planning on doing the postseason just straight money lines the entire time. If you want me to do player props and if you want me to do nerfies, I can. And I guess I can just stick with the 5 best bet format. But at least for the NBA and I guess for college basketball, I just did every game once we got going into the postseason. So, again, if you have a preference, let me know in the comment section down below. For now, though, planning on just doing every single money line, and then maybe we'll throw in an additional bet just to make it 5 on Tuesday when we have the 4 wildcard games. Okay, so our first bet, though, today is going to be a nerfy, San Francisco and Colorado. You know what the easier part of this equation is. It is obviously Logan Webb starting for the San Francisco Giants. The difficult part, McCade Brown going for the Colorado Rockies. Now, McCade Brown's been better recently. In the month of September, Brown does have a 7.2 ERA, but you look at his last 3 starts, you know, a good 12 innings and giving up 5 runs. You know, it's all right. We'll take that, especially that, you know, those starts are against the Padres don't really score. You know, the fact that he pitches in Colorado, though, obviously is going to boost up any pitcher's ERA on the Rockies. Now, this is where this matters, though. Again, we're playing in San Francisco. It's a pitcher-friendly park, and we just need to get lucky, I'm going to be honest, with McCade Brown. Logan Webb's going to get the outs, and this is how I have broken down nerfies all year long, and this is how I'll do it on the final day of the regular season. McCade Brown's going to, Logan Webb's going to get 3 outs, okay? I don't care who's sitting for the Rockies. They could bring back Todd Helton. I wouldn't be concerned. All right, the Rockies are not scoring in the first inning. Colorado is looking, if they lose today, they will have 119 losses this year. My goodness. But, I mean, they're batting right now probably Tovar, Goodman, Krim, Beck. Logan Webb's not giving up a run in the first inning, okay? I know Webb's been kind of up and down to close the season. He'll be fine in this spot. Flip side, the difficult part, again, is McCade Brown against the Giants. Elliot Ramos, Rafael Devers, Willy Adames. Now, you never know what you're going to get out of a team. And you never know what you're going to get out of teams that are eliminated from the postseason in September. It's a dice roll some nights. On top of that, you don't know what you're going to get out of teams on the final day of the regular season. Who knows who's going to play? Because, I mean, this is the day, you just tried things out because who cares? Your season's over at 3 o'clock today for the Rockies and the Giants, right? Only 12 teams get to move on to the postseason tomorrow. And obviously, we will go over the National League wildcard race in a second. That is the only, the Tigers and Guardians could still, someone's got to win the Central, someone's going to be a wild card, but those 2 teams are in. The only 2 teams that we just don't know about now are the Reds and the Mets, obviously, for the final spot in the National League. Regardless, though, we need to see who's going to go to Los Angeles to play the Dodgers. A game like this, though, we don't know who's going to play. I can assume, right, for the Giants it will be Ramos, Devers, and Adames, and probably Chapman in the 4, but who knows? Again, Logan Webb will get 3 outs. The way I will break this down, like we've done it all year long, we have minus 145 odds for McCade Brown to get 3 outs. I mean, I'll take that. You know, if we just need McCade Brown to get 3 outs and we're getting minus 145 for that, I'll take my chances there. I will. I know this is, again, he has struggled this season, but I know Logan Webb's going to get 3 outs against the Rockies. Again, I know Colorado did score yesterday off of Unk, Justin Verlander, and Verlander had 7 Ks. It's great. And Hunter Goodman hit a home run in the first inning. I doubt we see that today. Again, I think Unk's pitched decently this year. Big difference in Justin Verlander in 2025 and all-star Logan Webb, okay? Logan Webb's going to get 3 outs, and we just need McCade Brown to find a way. Again, Devers and Adames can get a little concerning, obviously, in the 2 and the 3. But we just got to have a little bit of confidence in McCade Brown to get the 3 outs. Giving the nerfy today for the final time from Oracle Park. -145 with the Rockies and the Giants. On to our second best bet of the video. It is the final Washington Nationals best bet of the year. You will not you'll probably hear me say something about the Nationals in the playoffs, but it's the final dedicated portion of a video for the Washington Nationals until March 26th of next year, where they're taking on the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. Man, it's been a long year. It's been a year that I'm glad is over. I'll say that right now. I'm glad that I don't have to watch that. Well, the Nationals have been a little bit more fun to close the year. Like, shout out to Dalen Lyle, another home run yesterday. James Wood went yard. Jacob Young went yard. It was a really weird game. Nats are either going to be 67-95 or 66-96. We have stepped down from last season. It sucks. But this is the final game of the regular season, and expect some fireworks. Yesterday, we had the over in the Nats White Sox game. Today, we're going with the same exact bet, right? Jacob Young and James Wood put us over the top in, was it the 7th or the 8th inning yesterday? Today, we're looking for, more than 8 runs, obviously. I think we can get 9 again. Starting pitching matchup today for the final Nats game of the year, Brad Lord versus Shane Smith. Now, Shane Smith had a decent campaign, had a good campaign in 2025, all-star this season. Has had a much better second half of the year than, I guess, the last month of his first half, if that makes sense. Season total ERA for Shane Smith, 3.98. Season total ERA for Brad Lord, 4.12. Expect runs to be scored, though, right? I mean, we've seen the White Sox bats really perform. I mean, early in games and back-to-back days on Friday and Saturday in D.C., we've seen the White Sox bats really come on. We've seen the Nats bats, too. I mean, the Nationals couldn't win on Friday, but we saw their bats really come through. We saw the bats come through on Saturday, right? Again, with the 3 home runs from Lyle, from Wood, and from Young. And then, hell, again, on Friday's game, right? Lyle goes yard, Abrams goes yard, Garcia goes yard 3 times, Josh Bell goes yard. There's just been a lot of runs in the series. And I'm surprised, by the way, so many people are showing up to Nats Park. 33,000 people showed up on Friday night's game. 24,000 people went into Nats Park on Saturday. Really? That's we don't see that attendance, really. I guess, it's the last time you get to watch these guys play till March, and then, I hate we open the year in Chicago, man. It's going to be freezing cold, and their home opener's April 3rd against the Dodgers. Ugh. It's disgusting. I hate it. We're going to start the year like 2-9 next year. Oh, man. Anyways, this video is not about the 2026 Washington Nationals, even though I wish it was. It's about the 2025 Nats. I just expect a lot of runs to be scored. I don't care that Shane Smith's actually pitched well this season. Brad Lord's been good. We've detailed how good Lord's been in certain spots. I don't care. There's going to be a bunch of runs scored today. I firmly believe that. James Wood, and here's the thing, guys. The Nats' young bats have really come through recently. Wood's looking good right now. Lyle looks like a premier player in the sport. And Dylan Cruz is getting there, I'll say that. I think 2026 will be a lot better for Cruz than at least 2025 was. I am a little concerned about Brady House. I haven't talked about Brady House in a minute. He hasn't played in like 5 days either, so I don't really know what's going on with Brady. I hope he's just injured. I hope he's hurt, but I don't know why he's not playing. I don't know. I've been disappointed with Brady House this year. I'm not going to lie. But anyways, Dalen Lyle, we need to talk about that season. I talk about him every day, it feels like. But, Lyle's got 302 average. OPS is 850, above 850. He's a hit machine. My point being with this over is that everybody's going to score. So many guys are going to be able to get on base today. Even for the Sox, too. I think Lord's good. How long is Brad Lord going to pitch in this game, though? 4 innings, 5 innings. I know Miguel Cairo, and what I've said about Cairo all year long is that he manages every single game like he's trying to win the World Series, and obviously it's gotten us to a below 30 games record. If we lose today, we're gonna be 30 under. Wow, it's either 28 under or 30 under. Which will it be this season? I hate it, man. But the Nationals have guys that are swinging a hot bat. Hell, Luis Garcia had 3 home runs on Friday. And then you look at the Chicago White Sox. I know this lineup's not going to wow you. It's, oh, wow, Colson Montgomery's great. And then who else? Edgar Cuero. Here comes Kyle Teal. Here comes Miguel Vargas. Levinian Sosa. Here comes Michael A. Taylor playing his final Major League Baseball game today in D.C. That's very fitting. I don't care. Well, I do care about Michael A. Taylor. I just talking about the White Sox lineup as a whole. Love Michael A. I expect a lot of runs today. James Wood again is back. He's not going to break the strikeout record, thank goodness. And that opposite field home run Wood hit yesterday, my goodness. Nasty. Go ahead home run for James Wood in the bottom of the 7th. Opposite field, ball just keeps on soaring. That's what we have in the guy, and I'm glad again that James Wood's actually putting together a little bit of momentum to close the season. He'll bat in the high 250s, 31 home runs. Maybe we get 32 today. I'm very happy what we got at James Wood, considering how bad the second half of his year was. And then Dalen Lyle, too. And Dylan Cruz will be better next season. I'm kind of optimistic about the Nats, but I can't be too optimistic because I think I know what's going to happen next season. We're just going to suck again. Anyways, let's extend Dalen Lyle and James Wood and Dylan Cruz in the offseason, please. Over 8.5 runs today between the Sox and the Nats in D.C. In Game 162 for the Washington Nationals. On now to our third best bet of the video, we go to a money line. I know this game means absolutely nothing, but I am taking the Dodgers to beat the Mariners. This is not, I can try to break this down for you. The simplest way I can is Clayton Kershaw's final ever start. And it might be legitimately his last start ever. Probably not. I think he will get another one, but who knows, right? Because is Kershaw not number 5 in this rotation right now? It's Yoshinobu's going to get the ball in game 1. I guess, who's getting the ball in game? It's Shohei, right? I believe it's Ohtani game 2. Game 3 is what, Snell? 4 Glasnow, 5 Kershaw? I could be missing somebody, but I'm not mistaken. That's what they're going to be doing in the playoffs. There's a chance it never gets to Kershaw. To the point of, we lose in the first round, we get into the second round against the Phils, and we're just going to go 4-man. We don't need Kershaw out here. This is an MLB moment, and we've done this before with the Dodgers all year long. It's actually cashed in weird spots where, it feels like a storybook moment for the Dodgers, for Clayton Kershaw. Something just goes right for the Dodgers. Okay. In the grand scheme of things, does this game mean anything? It doesn't. The Dodgers are locked at 3. The Mariners are locked at 2. Both these teams know where they're going to be in the postseason come Tuesday, or come literally if you watch this video at 5 and 10 hours. They will both know where they are. And they already know where they are. They know the Dodgers just don't know who they're playing. Still, though, in moments like this, the MLB just kind of finds a way. They find a way for the Dodgers to win. And that's okay. And that's okay. We're just going to go with it. We're taking the Dodgers today. We are taking the Los Angeles Dodgers to win the baseball game. And they should. I'd be surprised if they didn't, especially against Bryce Miller, who the Mariners are not concerned with throwing a bunch of pitches today. Obviously, Seattle's going into the bye. They're not going to play till, Saturday? Is that because it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, no games Friday? Wow. And I will say this now. We'll get into this more in the postseason. I don't know if the break really helps you or not. Because, and I know there's some exceptions to this, but last season is that year, obviously, where the Dodgers did not have to play in the first round. The Yankees did not have to play in the first round. But years past, hell, even last year too, Phils sat out. The Phillies had a bye. The Mets are hot. The Mets have momentum. They go in there and they beat the Phillies, right? I mean, I guess the Phillies were the only team with the bye last year that did not win in the first round, or their first round. But look at the year before. I mean, in 23, the only team to get out who had a bye was the Astros. The Rangers had to play in the first round. Phils had to play in the first round. D-backs had to play in the first round. And the final 4, again, 3 of those teams were teams who played in the wild card round. The 2 teams in the World Series were in the wild card round. Again, I don't want to get too far back. 22, same thing though, right? I know the Astros were always in that number 1 spot, but Philadelphia went on their big run. They played the Padres in the NLCS, and both those teams were in the wild card round. So I just don't know how much that truly helps you. Obviously, with home field and whatnot, you still want it. But in terms of a momentum standpoint, this is just how baseball is. Whoever's hot is going to win, obviously. I just don't know. I don't know. I think it can benefit legitimately the Dodgers. It can. Because if they can get going, and they never have to play in that wild card round, and you get whoever gets out of it, Cincinnati or New York, I mean, those are two teams that aren't playing at the highest level right now, can benefit you. That's all I'm saying there. The thing about the Mariners is they don't care who they're throwing today. Bryce Miller, okay, go out there, throw 6 innings. We don't really care what happens to you. Bryce Miller is horrible. I'm sorry. He's been very bad this year, and I will be very surprised if he gets a start in the postseason. Very surprised. I mean, if I'm the Mariners, I'm going Castillo, or I don't know, is Castillo getting the ball in game 1? I'm going Kirby Woo if he's healthy. Gilbert. No, I would not go Kirby. I'd go Gilbert probably game 1. I don't care. Whatever combination it is, it's going to be Castillo, Kirby, Woo, Gilbert. I mean, I'll be damned if Bryce Miller gets a start in the postseason. You're throwing this guy 6 innings today. You don't care. You want everyone healthy going into the playoffs. You could not care less about Bryce Miller. Okay, go eat some innings for us. Let's get going for the playoffs. All right, and we get the winner of the AL Central. Whoever gets out of that 3-game series, Guards and Tigers. I'm taking the Dodgers here. This just feels like some bull crap that the MLB pulls. Oh, Kershaw with a magical ending to his career. He gets a standing O as he leaves the field in Seattle. Oh, look at the Dodgers. Oh, Dodgers money line -110. Our 4th best bet of the video, we go to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brady Singer under 4.5 strikeouts. Okay, hear me out here. I know he's actually gone over this quite a bit. 3 of his last 5, he has hit this line. There's a reason I'm going with the under. I think he's going to have the shortest leash possible today. Completely short leash. All hands on deck if you're the Reds today. You need to win regardless. Now, there's a scenario. They lose, Mets lose, Reds get in. I mean, I'll break it down right now. Reds win, Mets win, Reds get in. Reds win, Mets lose, Reds get in. Mets lose, Reds lose, Reds get in. The only equation where the Mets get in the playoffs is Mets win, Reds lose. Now, odds on, in terms of Vegas is actually expecting that. That is statistically, when you break down like the analytics and like stats-wise, it's not. But that's the favorite outcome. There's a higher probability the Mets do not get in because of all the things that can happen, obviously. But Brewers is -150, and Mets are -120. So they are favored to win. That is the favorite outcome. Okay. That took me a very long-winded way to say that. Anyways, we'll get into the Mets later. That's obviously the last best bet. If you couldn't see it coming, I think Singer goes over the line, or over this number. Under. My goodness. I think he goes under. I just think he gets pulled really quickly. I think if anything goes poorly, which look at his last start, that was not good against the Pirates. 5 1/3, 7 innings, 4 runs. Ooh, I don't know. Hear me out, guys. I think the Reds are losing today. I think they are, actually. Now, this will make sense in a second. You probably know where this is going, but I don't think the Reds win today. You've already won the first 2 in Milwaukee, and you get Freddie Peralta today. Now, again, like Singer, different circumstances, obviously, but how long is Peralta going to pitch? I mean, I think no more than 4 innings. Brewers know where they're at. This is your game 1 starter against whoever gets out of that Padres-Cubs series in the wild card round, right? You don't want to have Peralta go too deep into this one. Now, I know, again, is there some motivation for the Brewers to keep Cincinnati out of the playoffs? Maybe, but not really. I mean, guys, Brewers are going into this game losing 5 of 6. Now, they've already had everything clinched. But right, Friday, 3-1 victory for Cincinnati. Saturday, 7-4 victory for Cincinnati. Obviously, all of a sudden now the Reds are like the hottest team in baseball. We'll see what happens. I actually think the Brewers are going to win, and I just don't think Singer gets this line. We will see what type of lineup the Brewers field today, because that's always a concern too. Yesterday, Andrew Abbott started for the Reds, and he went fairly deep. He goes 5 1/3 innings in that game, and he only gets 4 strikeouts. Now, is Singer a better strikeout guy, at least as of late, than Abbott? Maybe. I mean, Singer gets Ks, but look at Singer's last start against the Pirates. 5 1/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 strikeouts. Start before that, got 6 against the Cardinals, but game before that in Sacramento, against the Athletics, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts. Asking 5 out of him, especially against a Brewers lineup that's going to fight off pitches, a team that's going to put the ball in play, and a team that's just difficult to deal with, is a tough task. It is. All that being said, I think Singer goes under the line. And I think, again, we get this odds at what? We get this these odds at minus 110. I think the under is perfectly fine here. I think I don't know. I think the Reds lineup can fight, but I just don't know. Again, I would not bet this game either because what motivation do the Brewers have? They are pitching Peralta, but how deep into this game is Peralta going to go? And again, right, Singer and his length in this one is different than obviously Peralta's because the Reds, I mean, everybody's available, you would think. You would think everybody but Andrew Abbott can pitch today. I mean, I would assume, right? Everyone but Abbott and Lytle, I think if they need it, I don't know, again, what Francona's said yet, but I would assume Hunter Green can probably pitch today if you absolutely need him today, right? Because Green's last start was on Wednesday. Yeah, if Green needs to come in, they will pitch Hunter Green. Now, they don't want to because they want Hunter Green to be game one in Los Angeles, but if that's, again, you'd rather deal with the situation once you get to Los Angeles rather than not even have a situation in Los Angeles. So I just expect a short leash out of Brady Singer, just like how I expect a short leash for Sean Manaea today in New York. But give me Brady Singer or in Miami. Brady Singer under 4.5 strikeouts as we go on to our final best bet of the regular season in 2025. It ends with a Lol Mets. Yep, here it is. We're doing it again. Marlins money line. I know the Marlins couldn't hit yesterday, and it was part of a pretty bad day yesterday. But anyways, a very bad day, actually. We're doing it again. Because this would be the biggest Mets choke job, and this would just be right up the Mets' alley. How do we choke the hardest? You do this. Reds lose, and the Mets lose too. It's the funniest outcome, and I think the most likely outcome. I don't know what the Mets are doing, and I've already seen it on Twitter and whatnot. Mets fans are overreacting some, but I've already seen the outrage towards Sean Manaea starting today, and I kind of understand. I don't like completely keep track of the Mets and know them like the back of my hand. You don't have a single pitcher that's better than Sean Manaea to go today, and it made me think. Wait, who's the Mets' number one pitcher? Who would get the ball for the Mets in game number one? Well, it's McClan, but he pitched on Thursday, so I guess you really don't have anybody else who can go. Oh, no. I mean, Manaea, guys, has not been good this season. Came out the bullpen in his last outing. He's come out the bullpen in his last two. Oh, man. 7.64 ERA in the month, and you're starting him with the season on the line? 7.64 ERA in September, 7.13 ERA in August. Manaea's been bad this year. He hasn't had it. Oh, by the way, Edward Cabrera is starting for the Marlins. Now, Cabrera was out essentially a month, right? Pitched in late August against the Mets in a game where he actually gave up 6 runs. His team still won 11-8. And then came back on the 23rd of September in Philadelphia against the Phillies, where he went 4 innings, 5 hits, and 3 runs, gave up 2 home runs in that game as well. Okay. That's better, though, than that's the best option Miami has right now. And they're treating this like a postseason series, too, but you already pitched Sandy in game 1. You pitched Yuri yesterday. Well, I'd rather have Edward Cabrera out there rather than, Jansen Junk. So this is the right guy for the moment. And this is by far the most difficult guy that New York can see here. This is danger. Because Edward Cabrera, again, at his best is really good. And Sean Manaea, I know Miami couldn't score yesterday, and they did not score at all. They lost 5-0. It was atrocious. I watched Clay Holmes completely dominate that team. It's a whole nother game with Sean Manaea on the mound. And I get it. Holmes came into yesterday pitching very poorly too, and I was like, I don't know about this. And, if the Marlins could have won yesterday, it would have sealed the deal in the New York Metropolitan season. But it's fine. We're going to carry them out all the way till September 28th here in game 162. And that's where they get eliminated. I'm going to go with the Marlins. I am. Marlins plus 115. And it literally writes itself out with the starting pitching matchup. I don't know what Cabrera is going to be today, right? I mean, I know the Mets lineup is still very good. I know Francisco Lindor is they have Lindor, they got Alonso, they have Soto. I get it. It's a good lineup. Same time, though, Manaea is going to give up runs to the Marlins, and Miami, after a very bad day yesterday, is due to respond today. I mean, yesterday they had one hit. It was an Xavier Edwards single, I believe, in the bottom of the third it was. He ripped one back up the middle. The Marlins at first and second with 2 outs, down by 2, and then Marcy came up and softly grounded 1 out. And that was their only chance of threatening at all yesterday. It is what it is. I mean, I think they had 4 or 5 base runners the entire game and just 1 hit. They are due to bounce back today, and it's a game where the Marlins know the situation. They know their season's over, but they are fighting with everything that they have to ensure the Mets don't get in. Let's do it. That's what the Nats did. That's what the Marlins are doing. None of us want to see the New York Metropolitans in the playoffs, and that's what the Marlins are going to do today. Give me Miami Marlins money line plus 115 at home at Lone Depot Park against the New York Mets. So with that being said, that eliminates the Mets from the postseason. Be hilarious. We would set up for Reds and Dodgers in the first round. And very quickly, I'll talk about what I have in the American League today. Didn't make the video, but I believe everything kind of stays where it's at right now in the American League. I believe Blue Jays win. I believe Yankees win. I believe Guards win. And I believe Tigers lose. So that would set up for Cleveland versus Detroit in Cleveland in the 3-6. And then New York versus Boston in the first round. Why do I think the Tigers are losing? Well, they have pulled Tarek Skubal. AJ Hinch said if we don't need him to get into the playoffs, we are not going to pitch him. We'd rather have him for game 1 on the road rather than not being in the playoffs in general, and I think it's a smart move. Rather than not having him at all for the first round. So they're going Chris Paddock today. That sounds like a loss to me, even though the Red Sox have nothing to play for today. And I'm looking at the Yankees. I mean, I don't know how the Blue Jays lose to that lowly Rays team right now. I don't see it. Yankees at home, they probably don't lose either, but that would mean, yes, Toronto would still end up in the 1 spot, so that would create for a New York versus Boston wild card round, while we also have, again, Guards hosting the Tigers, and Dodgers versus Reds with, of course, Cubs and Padres, which has already been confirmed for a couple days now. Folks, thank y'all for watching our MLB Best Bets. Again, we'll be back for the postseason in 2 days. We're going to be off tomorrow, but obviously Tuesday morning I'll be back for more daily MLB Best Bets. I want to thank you guys for watching these every single day here on the channel. Truly, I mean, we've been doing this it's the longest season out of all the sports. So I want to thank you guys for watching every single day. We'll be back again for the playoffs. We still got a whole nother month of baseball before, again, we get into the NBA and college basketball coming up right at the tail end of the MLB season as well. Trust me, again, we have a lot of stuff going on the channel, so make sure to join us for that. Again, MLB postseason content starts on Tuesday morning, same time, 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Eastern. Folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.